What's up? Today I'll be answering another one of your questions. Today's question comes from Beatwiz, and he asks, how can I gain total financial security with my music career? I love this question because it shows his thinking, and thinking is long term, which is important because we've seen so many artists fail, right? And not fail during their career, not fail at the beginning is full of failure, and then there's this moment of prosperity, and then after that, there's another moment of failure that happens at the end. That is, we've seen it documented on all sorts of TV programs out there. I don't need to mention them. So I'd say that the first thing that needs to happen is there needs to be a plan. There needs to be a plan to make money, short term money, long term money. Beatwiz, I'm guessing, is a beat maker, right, or a music producer. You can assume that short-term money would be things like beat sales, would be things like recording sessions, there would be things like mixing and mastering. Services rendered basically become your short-term income. That becomes the income that you will use to fuel the day-to-days of the running of what's going on, right? That needs to be built up, and that takes time, it takes dedication, it takes skill, it takes effort. There's all of those great things, right? Once you can sort that out, then we can start thinking about long term sources of income. Long term sources of income like endorsements, you're thinking royalties, which is a massive one because the beauty of royalties is that royalties are passive. Once you start earning royalties, especially if it's through sync, it's passive, completely passive. You don't need to do anything ever again. That music will get picked up at some point, right? It might not be now. I know there's tracks that I've had that have only been picked up after 10 years. But because I've got such a massive catalog and my thinking is so long term, I don't care whether I submit a track in 2015 and it only gets picked up in 2025 or 2035 for that matter. So having that long term thinking and pushing out, there's a concept that I was speaking about last week where I was speaking about taking your timelines and just pushing them out as far as you can. Because if you can do that, you can fit so many more things in there and you can just be so much more consistent with what it is that you're doing. Okay, so that's planning. Investing, right? The two main investments that you're going to make are going to be your equipment, right, and your skills. So if you're an artist, then sure, look at what you can do. Maybe you can pick up a musical instrument. Maybe you can get software or hardware. Maybe if you're a beat maker, you can go get yourself a beat pad or set yourself up a little studio, improve your computer, right? Those are the type of investments that can never be seen as wastes because they are fueling the main thing, which is your music career. And the other thing that you're going to invest in is your future. This is a tricky one because in most cases this means taking your money and possibly moving it out of the music industry. So maybe you can take the money that you've made from music and you can do some of the things that some of our celebrities in SA have done. Things like buying Ubers, buying property, starting businesses, starting clothing lines, merch, doing all sorts of weird and wonderful things that can also tap into other passions that you might have and become investments that will outlast the hype of being a big artist or being a performing artist or whatever the case is that you're trying to do. So invest. Third thing, budget track. Super important. We waste money. This is just humans in general. We waste cash. And I think if there's some way of saying this is how much money I spend, having alerts to say that this is how this is how much you've gotten, this is how much you've spent. There's lots of techniques. I've seen people who will go to the bank and they will withdraw all their money that they need for the month and they'll put it in various envelopes. That's another form of doing it. Some people use apps. There's apps out there like 22/7 that allow you to go and break down all of the expenses that you've got. Stuff like that allows you to remain sober as your lifestyle starts to pick up, right? That's the fourth point, monitoring your lifestyle. So with monitoring your lifestyle, when things do finally pick up and you finally get to pull yourself out of that struggling artist phase that you will be in for a long time, you start to look at things and you're like, I can afford that. I could do that. I could live there. I could drive that. I could wear that, right? And all of a sudden, you've changed your whole appearance. You've changed who you are. You've changed everything that you're doing. You're no longer the person that you were before. And sure, you can level up in certain respects, but to completely change your lifestyle can be detrimental because you get this thing where now you have to fund this lifestyle. It's not a case of it's a one-off fee and now that car runs itself. That car's going to need petrol. And if You've now, your engine is an absolute beast. You're spending extra money. Should there be any repairs? Should there be services? The insurance is going to be higher. You're going to move into a new place, right? That place might require things, to be done. And there's a whole host of other associated fees with owning a house. Yeah, so if you're going to pick up on your lifestyle, understand that there has to be a way to maintain it. And your way of maintaining it shouldn't be through your active income that you get through doing performances, getting this, getting that. It should be through vehicles that you've set up, through your investments, through your long-term money. Okay, so it's very simple, and it's very simple now when we talk about it. If you watch this video now, if you're someone on the come up, but once the money starts showing you things, then you get a bit dizzy and things get a bit tricky. So find ways to remain as sober as you can as you elevate your status, as you elevate your income, as things start to become better for you. So that's plan, invest, budget track, and monitor your lifestyle. Peace. Yeah, I should do that last bit. So that's plan, invest, budget track, and monitor your lifestyle. Peace.